This is the Project CLEA homepage. You can see the address up here, but you can also do a search on Project CLEA on Google or any other search engine and it'll bring you to this page. So let's take a look at how we download the software. Notice the warning here for Windows 7 and 8. Hopefully nobody's still on Vista. I've downloaded this on Windows 7 Professional 64-bit, not had any trouble. This is Windows 8, 8.1 to be exact, 64-bit, and we're going to see how all this works. Click on the Software tab. I'm going to start by downloading the Virtual Educational Observatory. We're going to download vireo.zip over here in the lower right hand portion. It says asks if I want to open it with Windows Explorer. I'm just going to go ahead and save the file, and this will save it to the downloads subdirectory. If I want to save it someplace else, I've got to tell Windows to do that. You can see in this upper right hand corner that's going to take quite a while to take place, about 3 hours, because this is a huge file. I'm going to go ahead and start the download of some other software while this is happening. So I'm going to click on Software again in the upper left hand portion. We're going to look at both the astrometry of asteroids and the revolution of the moons of Jupiter. Start off with the revolution of the moons of Jupiter because we're going to need that one soon. Again, I'll go into juplab.zip, click on that, and save that file. And while that's downloading, I'm going to click back. And we'll go to the astrometry of asteroids, and the executable file is in the zip there. And I'll save that file as well. While Vireo is still downloading, let's go ahead and take a look at the installation of the other two pieces of software. I'm using Firefox here, so I can click in this region right up here in the upper right hand portion of Firefox, and you'll see the Astrometry of Asteroids lab and the Jupiter lab have downloaded. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Jupiter lab, and here is the file I want to get to. So I double click on that, and the installation begins. Alright, so I seem to have come across an issue because it's looking for a file inside of a zip folder. So what I need to do is this. I'm going to click OK here, and I'm going to cancel out of that. I clicked up here where it says Downloads, and then here is the Jupiter lab that I just downloaded. You'll see the 1 prefix, and that's because I downloaded it earlier back in August. But here's the one I just did today. Double click on that. Click on Jupiter lab, and I'm going to cut that lab, and then I'm going to paste that file to the desktop. Let's go ahead and click on it again. See if this did the trick. Still having an issue. Go ahead and click on desktop here and see if that helps. Alright, so that seemed to do the trick. So I clicked on desktop, which is where I have it saved. Click on next. I'll accept the license agreement. Click on next. This is just to read me information. I'm not going to worry about that. And then your username. I'll leave the organization blank. And you can see here it's going to put it in the program files subdirectory. x86 is because it's not a 64-bit piece of software. Subdirectory called CLEA, and then the Jupiter lab. I'll click on next. I'm going to allow anyone who uses his computer to do that. I should be logged in as an administrator. So I'm going to do a right click on Jupiter lab and run it as an administrator. Click on next, accept date, put in my name, click on next, and let's see if we can get it to work this time. Alright, that seemed to have done the trick. I'll click on Finish, and then I'm going to go back to the Windows 8 main area. I'm going to scroll down and to the right, and I see CLEA exercises here. I'm going to click on Revolution of the Moons of Jupiter. There's that. I'm going to log in. I'm just going to type in my first name here. Click on OK. Tell it yes, I've logged in. And now I want to run the software. So I should be able to go from there. So that installation seems to have worked fine. Let's go back to Downloads. Over here you'll see the Astrometry Lab. I'm going to double click on that. Again, I'm going to cut this file. I'm going to get out of the first one. I'm going to paste it to the desktop. So there's the Astrometry Lab. I'm going to right click on that. Run it as an administrator. Click on Next, accept that. Click on Next. Put in my name, click on Next again. I'm going to go ahead and install the complete piece of software. That should be done. You can see there's a shortcut over here, but just in case I don't know about that, go back to the main Windows 8 desktop. You'll see Astrometry of Asteroids. Log in. I just used my first name again. Click on OK. Go ahead and close out of there. And we'll take a look and see how the Vireo software is coming. Okay, so you'll see here that Vireo is on the desktop, so I've already moved to the desktop like I did the other two. And like the others, I'll give it a right click and run it as an administrator. And I'll click on Next. Accept the terms, click on Next. You can read that if you want. I'm not going to at this point. Put in my name pretty much just like the last group. Click on Next and again. And I'll do a complete installation for anyone on the computer. And there you go. And there is a desktop shortcut. I'll go ahead and just double click on that instead of going over to the Windows 8 main area. And you start this pretty much the same as all the others. Go ahead and log in. And we go from there. Hopefully that'll answer any questions you might have.